Sweet God, Andy, why?
Ah, it's fucking everywhere, man. I don't know
Oh,
why he brought it in the house. Or on the boat. You know what you did.
It's a houseboat. I mean, it could be both, but
It's a party boat.
there's blood everywhere.
Oh, is that what that was? I thought it was something else.
I have no idea what's going on.
Neither do we. Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Bon swag.
You're back once again.
It's
in this
a night
Merry
owl.
Tuesmas. Oh, hello.
Literally
Wow,
first
quick.
chat.
Yeah, no, that's
Right.
that's on brand for us.
First chat. God damn it.
If we haven't upset the mods in the first 5 minutes.
The reason for
Oh.
the great destruction of the American lumber industry in the
I-
1940s.
Sorry, I just refreshed stream so I could see it, and the first thing I see is it's a warning about content, and one of the things here is graphic depictions. So I don't know if that's our fault, but I'm saying it's not my fault.
That's been happening. It's not.
No, it's our entire channel.
I was gonna say, look,
Um,
I only draw certain cursed Furbies. I could go worse.
Yeah, no, it's because essentially Black or WBPL is rated M for
Massively
Mac
fun.
Daddy. Yeah. Bully Snake
Maybe.
says, I must not cringe. Cringe is the creativity killer. Cringe is the little death that brings silence. I will face my cringe. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone, I will turn my mind to feel its path. When the cringe has gone, there will be nothing. Only my whips will remain. What does whip mean? W-I-P.
I don't know, but does it have to do with this Nene I keep hearing about?
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think
Hold on.
Fringe can make art.
Well, no,
I
I think what he's saying is the habit to cringe inside. Like, you look at your own stuff and you cringe. It's like, no, learn to kill that so you can do your art.
No one.
Oh, when
is
it
a
comes to
bigger-
art, I don't really feel that. It's more I cringe at other shit, but that's not my own work.
I would say the biggest self-cringer was Van Gogh. And, he died a happy death.
No, no, he did not. He absolutely did not.
No, he didn't do that thing to himself and crawl.
Yeah, he didn't
back
juggle
slow
chainsaws on a
and
bridge.
Die a slow death.
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn to the music a little bit. I will say that I did watch that one Doctor Who episode with Van Gogh, where they took him to the future and was showing him how popular his work was. And I'm not gonna lie, that scene hit a bit in the heart for me. It's a very powerful episode if you're someone that does art or just thinks creatively. I'll say that much.
I kind of wonder what would be back if we brought Benjamin Franklin back here and showed him the internet.
Oh, he would love Pornhub.
God.
He'd be like, my God!
Press.
Actually, maybe it would scare him straight. It's just like, can you believe the mother with the stepson?
Jesus, now!
My face when Pornhub. Actually, I kind of want to turn this into a sticker with that as the label, just to see what people's reactions are.
It just cuts to, it just cuts to Night Owl, or not Night Owl, Grimo sitting, on the couch eating popcorn. Night Owl walks in, goes to a back room, comes back with a shotgun. What's up? WBPL's haunted. What? WBPL's haunted. Walks out.
It would be my fault if that happens.
Night Owl, what beverage do you drown your sorrows in when you regret, modding for this?
Mad Dog 2020, that's my guess.
Oh, no. Night Owl has that, super villain thing going where it's some kind of, high class of wine that he's slowly swirling in a cup.
God, he's listening to,
Yeah, that's Mad Dog 2020.
he's
I'm gonna
listening
draw.
to, classical opera.
I'm gonna draw a gnome. That's what I'm gonna draw.
Andy,
Why?
I'm not
Because
allowed
I
to
feel
drink
like
that anymore.
What, classical opera?
Night Owl is not allowed to drink classical opera anymore, 2025.
Yeah. Pro tip, by the way, don't drink Mad Dog 2020. Or do. I'm not your mom, but you'll have experiences when you do. I don't remember if I told the cigarette story on here or not, but it involves Mad Dog 2020.
Remember, kids, don't offer clothing to gnomes. It's like feeding gremlins after midnight. They
Man.
turn hostile.
You
I
can't
would
tell
be
me
more
what to do. You're not my mom.
See,
Crispy
I
said
think-
so.
I think the gnomes would be more hostile if they were naked, because, I mean, I've seen enough Cops episodes to know you don't want to fight a naked guy, because he's going to be angry and unhinged.
Especially if he's gone Turkish and he's like lathered himself in oil.
Moving on.
I haven't seen
line.
that episode. No, there was one that. Oh man, I don't know. It's Cops. You can probably point to any episode. I was like, yeah, this is a bit fucked up, isn't it?
He's squad slotting aggressively.
Squad
It's
slotting?
Tuesday, isn't it?
Slav squatting.
I
Why
don't
am
know,
I giving
squad
this-
squatting, it sounds like something else entirely.
Why am I giving
Um,
this gnome a fucking like Italian mustache?
I mean, it's better than giving him a German mustache.
I just have to erase part of it for that. Okay, and now I've changed it. This is going to be something else. I don't know.
Lowbrow, but I'll
still,
accept it.
Still gnome, but yeah.
Okay.
What's that Western actor that has the mustache and he has that deep voice?
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
gnome.
Yeah. All right, yeah, but we need to make the sides more droopy. Hold on.
That or a Wilford Brimley gnome.
I'm Wilford Brimley, and I want to
can
give
gnomes-
the children of the world diabetes.
I was gonna say, can gnomes get diabetes or?
They
Wilford
get
Brimley-
turbo diabetes.
Upon Wilford Brimley's death, he became the insulin gnome. He leaves insulin under diabetic kids.
He- I was thinking something different. You know that one scene in the first X-Men movie where the one guy like melts in the water?
Yeah.
I was thinking that, but it's like insulin.
What, he turns people into insulin?
No, when he died, he turned into a puddle of insulin.
Wilford Brimley actually made several westerns during his acting career. Interesting.
He
I did not know that.
There was a movie. Oh, he's in The Thing. That's right. Actually, you know what? I don't know why I gave him such a deep D, but
Wait, and he's in the thing?
yeah, I think so.
He
I think
gets
he's-
absorbed, right?
Oh yeah, he's not one of the people that lives, but I forget which character
Oh, well,
he is.
then the thing doesn't have much time left to live now, does it?
Yeah, The Thing gets diabetes.
Yeah, you're right. He is in a lot of movies. Wow.
Which is surprising because you don't think about that much because of the diabetes
He
commercials.
was, I think he was in Walker, Texas Ranger, the show.
I
Mm,
think he.
Show.
I see.
remember
So
he-
it looks like his heyday kind of comes to an end in the late 90s.
as most people's do.
Oh, well, okay. You know what I meant.
Bing bang diddle ding bam boom, ding bang diddle doo, bing bang diddle ding bam bum bum, bing dang diddle loom.
Yeah. To which, Night Owl asks, have you ever seen Sam Elliott without a mustache?
I have, yes, because I've watched We Were Soldiers, and he does not have a mustache in that movie. And it's the
I love
completely
that
different
movie.
person. Oh, it's a great fucking movie, except for like the two. The only thing I have about that movie that I don't like is the two like very corny lines they put in there, like "Tell my wife I love her" is unironically a line in that movie. And it's just like, guys, like, come on,
God, he
Yeah.
does look like a different person. He looks like,
right?
you know
Yeah.
what? The picture I'm looking at makes me think of David Lynch.
I think my favorite line of
Huh.
his in that movie still has to be, if any of you sons of bitches call me grandpa, I will fucking kill you.
I do love that line. And then in the other one where he's like, good morning, sir. It's like, you don't know what kind of goddamn day it is.
There's a picture with Sam Elliott with like long flowing hair, and it makes me think like, imagine if they cast Sam Elliott to play Qui-Gon.
That would have been a very interesting movie if they had done that.
See, you know how every once in a while we play that kind of game we do where we just recast everybody from like various Star Wars movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Sam Elliott as Qui-Gon would be an interesting choice.
That's not a bad
By
pick.
the-
I think it'd be interesting.
By the way, I was remiss last week when we were talking about this because I suggested Avery Brooks as Tex, and only later realized I did that completely unconscious of the possible Tex Avery joke that I could have made. And I apologize.
I've never played those games, so I couldn't tell you.
Tex Avery was an animator.
Yeah, he's the one that does those. Like, he did like Screwy Squirrel and Droopy, I think. He's creator Droopy. Matter of fact, I've been looking at skits that on YouTube where they have that wolf that goes, "Man,
Huh.
okay, you fellers, get 'em on out there, man."
Shit, man.
I should link some to you.
Oh, yeah? Ah!
So, I kind of been, because I looked up like Fury and stuff like that, I get recommendations on my YouTube, and one of them is the boots rhyme.
Oh, I thought you were
And
talking about the tank movie.
Yeah, but well, Boots is like someone made a what's the word I'm looking for? I'll say a video collage with the rhyme going in, and it's like scenes from movies like All Quiet on the Western Front and all that.
Huh.
Oh, like just where you're having marching or something?
Yeah, marching and just piles of bodies everywhere, like.
Yeah, man, I've been to Burning Man.
It's funny because
Yep.
sometimes I see those pictures of like, you know, it's like men are like, "I want to die in glory in battle," and I'm like, "Oh, that's right. This is what war actually is like."
Well, and I mean that's
some
a
people.
big point in movies like Fury. You know, he makes this point of like, I don't think you're ready to see what a man can do to another man. And then, you know, one of the first really truly nightmare scenes in that movie is watching what white phosphorus does to a human.
Yeah, that's not a fun thing, is it?
Yep. Also, that movie does have probably one of my favorite lines ever in it, which is, "Ideals are peaceful, history is violent."
Yeah.
I
Hell of a
remember
thing,
one
isn't it?
comment. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was like, "Violence doesn't solve anything," and then he starts looking through history and he goes, "Oh God, oh God,
It was a meme. It was a meme I shared with you. Yeah, it's like the real answer is, oh no, no, oh no."
War doesn't leave who's right, only who's left."
Yeah. Yeah. Get my use out of a flip tool today, that's for sure.
I'm the gnome with two left hands.
Sounds like a mystery novel or something. Like the gnome with two left hands. Steal my goddamn shoes.
No, it's a shit. What was his name? Don't tell me. It was a. He was a child's horror book writer in the 90s. I'm trying to remember his name.
Gilbert or Stephen King.
No. What? No! I said he wrote books for children, not about children.
Nah.
Well, I mean,
I know who you're talking about, but I'm not going to say the name because I want you to guess.
R.L.
And I'm honest-
Stein.
Yes. I'm
Oh,
kinda
like
surprised.
Goosebumps and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the other children's horror book series that came out in the 90s.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't read horror as a kid.
I can't believe they made like a movie about R.L. Stein, like
played by Jack Black.
Wait, what? Really?
Well, I do remember they made a Goosebumps movie where it was like essentially R.L. Stein was being played by Jack Black. I don't know if that's a fever dream or what, but.
And I think they were dealing with like his stories coming to life or something.
Oh.
Okay, now you're drawing Avatar.
What?
You're drawing Avatar.
I'm drawing Avatar.
From Wizards.
Oh yeah, I guess I am. I was having that scene go through my head for a little bit, so that's probably why.
I want to show you a trick Mother taught me when you weren't around. By the way, I'm glad you changed your last name, you son of a bitch.
There was I forget which space station wiki it was, but I looked up. This was like when I was first like getting into Spacemans, and I looked up the wizard page, and the description for the wizard was that video clip. And I didn't get it until I started playing Space Station. I'm like, oh no, that makes sense.
Somehow at this point, I think the clip I've come to most associate with Space Station 13 is Garbage Day.
That is, that's honestly a pretty solid pick there. Or, you know, just like any episode of C-Lab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so basically now I've just turned this into Avatar, so fuck it. Make him green.
So you think we can use AI to revoice Avatar as Sam Elliott?
I do like the idea of him using AI voice to either have him do the "Do I Feel Lucky" scene from Dirty Harry, or the whole scene with Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
Well, you just gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
And you will know that I am the Lord.
Does Obadon look like a bitch? Does Obadon look like a motherfucking bitch to you?
I just like the idea of this wizard just being this dude in Queens that just like smokes stogies and then just casts lightning bolt at people when he's bored. I don't know why I said specifically Queens, but I think it was your accent. Eh.
Ramshackle says, wait, make the background the OK Corral.
Oh God.
That's gonna take a while.
The guy on Broadway says that would be Goon Station's wiki. Oh, where the video of that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, hold on. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna hit the right actual fucking thing for it. Oh, has it been 2 minutes? Can I swear?
It's been 18 minutes. Also,
it's been
you
1
swore
week since you looked at me. Oh, did I?
You also swore in the first 4 minutes.
Hey, that's past 2 minute mark. We're good. Also, there's the OK Corral. I really need to figure out something for an intro. I was talking about that the other week. I have ideas, but nothing concrete.
So there's this channel called Rude Jake. I think Rude Jake Art or Rude Jack.
Yeah.
Rude Jack Art, and he has this little series of videos where it's the characters from Mario, and they're in like, I think it's the 80s, and they're in Brooklyn, and they're in a record store, and they're flipping through record titles, and they're making puns based off of them, like, I'm number one, and it's like number one.
Huh. I'm not familiar.
Acceptable.
I mean, that one didn't really sell it, but if you watch it, it's very heartwarming because it's got like a few episodes of it, and they're only like a couple minutes, but they're really nice.
Sounds interesting. You have to check that out sometime.
I really do emphasize the word heartwarming. I don't know why. It's like this is nice, you know.
Yeah.
You said, or barring that, Golden Corral.
How do I make a building obese?
No, this is him at the OK Corral. Next picture is him at the Golden Corral. His guts just.
Yeah, he's too thin for that shit. One second, I'm checking my notes here because I have some ideas written that we could probably do. I'm not in peak form today. Apologies.
Crispy had a wuff, but we good.
Have I ever told you the story of plagiarist the Great? He knew the secret of eternal life, but at the end they killed him for it.
Where can I learn this power?
Not from a Jedi.
I think I just found one that Tex gave me, but I'm gonna save that because that's gonna be more than like 5 minutes to do.
Yes.
Get out of here. Ah, screw it. I got an idea.
On the next episode of The Krispy Show, we do battle with his cat.
Which one? I have two. Actually, never mind. I know which one it's going to be. It's going to be Pudding. And he's going to be climbing on shit, and I'm going to have to get him off of this said shit.
Meow.
Yeah, he's a bad kitty. He gets into a lot of trouble.
Oh,
But he's so adorable, so it's hard to stay mad at him.
Is there like another cat that like squats the shit out of him?
That would be Yogurt, yes. Yes, my cat's names are Yogurt and Pudding.
This is acceptable.
Mine is Tiger and Binksy.
My wife is currently standing in the doorway holding Pudding.
Binksy has let herself go, and I'm like, why are you so much fatter than your sister?
Night Owl has quoted, "How do I make a building obese?"
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do that because I'm having trouble drawing what I want. We're gonna draw a biblically accurate Golden Corral. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh my god.
Do you ever like rapidly like slap your cat on the butt?
I don't do that. No. But now I'm
I don't mean
tempted
like
to.
actually hurt, like, you know. Just
No,
like
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but oh man,
It's just not his thing, baby.
My cat's name are Savage and Civil.
Sorry, I just saw an article related to Golden Corral that made me laugh. I'll tell you guys off because it kind of doxes me a bit.
Is the article about how they have to start supplying their own scooters for customers?
No, it's just more like the local one closing down and then getting replaced by Chick-fil-A. Which was really funny. Why am I not...
I think Golden Corrals are notorious for having bad health inspections, right?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah. In general, buffets are.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what about buffets. People do not give a fuck. I saw... one of the distinct memories my brother had from going to Golden Corral, he saw it, I did not. I was there, but I didn't see the specific thing. Was somebody, I think, just sticking their hands directly in the gummies and just putting them in their ice cream bowl, I think right after wiping their nose.
Yep. That would do sometimes.
Yeah,
I came back.
I don't miss the Golden Corral. Let's say that.
Last Tuesday, I had to go to a food safety certification class.
Oh yeah, how was that?
The lady was legally obligated to talk for 8 hours.
I think I would rather just, chug Listerine. That sounds awful.
Listen, one guy in class was asleep the whole time. I started passing out after we had lunch. And I had like micro dreams. And she was talking about the thermometer. And she had that one thermometer that's like a long metal rod with the disc-shaped whatever thing that tells the temperature,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a micro dream of a knight riding on a horse, and his lance is that kind of thermometer, and he's about to shove it into like the thigh of a red dragon.
Oh, thigh. I thought you were going somewhere else with that. Either way, I have something to draw next.
No, it was specifically in like the haunch of the leg, alright? It wasn't anywhere
Oh, see,
else.
I was thinking it was more like rectal thermometer.
No, it was... It's like a turkey thermometer? No, maybe not. It's...
I get what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're talking about like the temperature needle that you would stick in like a turkey or something. Okay, I'm following you now.
Internal temperature, yeah. I think I had a few other micro dreams, but I forgot them. But that one was hilarious.
Yeah, that's wild. Also, I'm still just not over the fact that she was legally obligated to talk for 8 hours. I would just hate that job so much. I've got more explicit things that I would say about that, but I don't think I should on the stream.
Well, I mean, you learn some things. Like I'm deathly well. I'm kind of paranoidly aware of listeria.
I would probably be doodling most of the time there. I'm just gonna say.
I like to pour the disinfectant down the drain in my cooler now.
Sensible.
Because apparently there was Bluebell was shut down for like 4 years because they were trying to find out where the hell listeria outbreak was, and they found out it was like, I think it was set. It wasn't in the ice cream boxes. It was like in a drain, and like listeria had not only came out of the drain, but it like absorbed into all the cardboard boxes that they kept in there for a while.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't know that could happen.
Well, that's why you clean everything.
I think every 20 minutes bacteria divides. And so like after 8 hours there's like 33 million pieces of bacteria.
That's wild.
Yeah, so you got to keep your stuff at like, what was it? 45 degrees temperature for cold stuff, 135 degrees for warm stuff, and to cook it, it has to be at least like 165 degrees internally.
Very specific. But, makes sense.
Apparently you can like...
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, apparently you can like half cook something now and then cook the other half of it later.
How does that work?
Like you cook it up to a certain temperature for this amount of time, and then you could put it in a cooler and then bring it back out and cook it for like, you put it back up to 165 for like, the rest of the time, and it cooks it completely somehow. And I'm like, I don't see how that works, but...
Huh.
But also, most food has like, I think keeping it warm has like I think I remember them saying 8 hours. And after that, you got to get rid of it. But when you're traveling and stuff like that, it's almost like you've got half the time and all that.
Makes sense. I guess. I don't know. I'm not a chef, or I'm not into like food prep stuff, so I just...
Goblin Carl.
Globin Carl. It's the Globin Carl.
Hi, Mrs. Neutron. Oh, I'm ready Since I've been here last.
Glob and Carl, brought to you by David
Sorry that I said
Cronenberg.
Hey, Mrs. Carl. Sorry, I thought I told you the other day that you were the hottest woman I've ever seen.
Ah, Jimmy, your mom's a total milf.
The suburban milf action, Jimmy.
Suburban MILF action.
Suburban MILF action sounds like a great name for an adult movie.
Also, Andy Night Owl tells us that it's called a meat thermometer. And it's for measuring your internal temperatures.
So if I stick one in my leg, can I see if I have a fever?
Strictly speaking, yes, but don't do that.
Well, there go my
probably
plans for after stream.
You could probably put it between like when you fold your knee or your elbow over it. But I would suggest an actual human thermometer that you put in your mouth under your tongue.
You know, actually, this does remind me. I had this thought earlier. I distinctly remember being in school, and you know those old school glass thermometers that had mercury in them. Like we used those. I distinctly remember using those as a kid, and I think back on that, and I'm just like, man, I'm really glad that we don't use those for thermometers anymore.
You want to hear a story from when I was a kid? The teacher was showing us mercury, and she specifically told us class. She specifically told us to class, like mercury is poisonous. Don't touch it. And she was showing the cool stuff it does, and this is not too long after Terminator, right? So how mercury kind of likes to just reshape itself.
Yeah.
So she puts it in the bottle. And she goes to have her smoke break. One of the kids grabs the bottle, opens it up, and just starts playing with the mercury in his hands.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I'm sitting here looking at him like, you are,
in a word, an idiot.
I would almost not worry about any brain damage that would happen to you for doing this, because you're probably so stupid you just can't negate from zero, can you?
Yeah, it was Carl, and then, later on he became Glob and Carl.
I ate the mercury inside the thermometer. Oh!
For some reason, this is just making my brain go to Meat Canyon type skits about I have tasted on the face of the divine.
There was something that somebody was telling me about the other day that Meat Canyon was involved in, and I was like, that makes so much sense. I can't remember what the thing was, though.
It was that video of the guys making the human, the grotesque puppets.
Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah, that's right. You told me that, and I was like, oh, that makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of he's got an oven that's made out of the skin of a woman, and she's stretched out over, and she's like, oh.
Of course.
Let's see. Let me catch up on chat here.
Oh yeah.
Magic metal is fun. Then they stuck their arm in it. Oh, into the mercury. Art time.
Oh.
Art time and poison. I've heard mercury makes you immortal. We are not Chinese alchemists. We do not have that skill.
Oh yeah, wasn't there a Chinese emperor that just had a mote of mercury in his tomb or some shit?
Yes, the Dragon Emperor's tomb. They actually had to think of for a while of how. I don't think they've even gotten into it yet, but they have to. If they're going to excavate it, they're basically going to have to go in full gas suits.
Yeah, I would.
Because the legend talked about there being mercury in there, and when they first started to try to breach into it, the amount of mercury gas that was coming out was just brain-shittingly potent.
It sounds like the legends are true there. Also, that does beg the question of what happened to the people that put it in there?
Oh, Krispy. I mean, obvious.
They got
They're
cakes.
serving him forever in the afterlife, Krispy.
Yeah, that story's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
At what point? Because you gotta understand, a lot of these really rich kings and pharaohs are I'm gonna do all this so that nobody disturbs my tomb.
Yeah.
Well, now you've got like government institutions like we've got to go see what's in that tomb.
See, I went to a different spot with it, and I'm not sure how deep of a thing we want to get into this, but I'm like, what's the tomb of Jeff Bezos going to be like?
Well, okay, I mean, I will say that I get that you're joking here. The distinct thing about tombs like that, especially those tombs, like the pharaohs and the Chinese emperors, they would not be akin to, say, the tomb of a Western or even a Middle Eastern emperor or king, because those were priest kings. Those were they were seen as gods.
Ah, I see. I mean,
versus,
in the
and you know,
Pharaoh's
even
case,
the
tomb raiding.
Yeah, and in the case of this,
put an end to that.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say tomb,
in the case of
raiding kind of put an end to it. Go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
In the case of this, no, it's okay. We're conversing. In the case of like the Caesars, that was the case, but like after Christianity and Islam came around and said, yeah, you're not a god. In fact, if you call yourself that, everyone should kill you. Then
meanwhile, Japan was like, wait a minute.
Double god power. So like that's why that kind of tomb building went by the wayside, because you stopped having mortal man seen as god. Even a pope is never seen as god.
That is true, yeah. You don't see pyramids to the popes. Although, now that I think about it, pyramids to the popes is a really awesome band name.
Yeah.
Like some kind of prog metal, I feel, would be appropriate for that title.
Okay, so it's the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, sometimes called the Dragon Emperor or the First Emperor of China.
There was a mummy movie about him.
Yep.
People don't like that one, but I think it's good.
So, when I get stupid rich...
I thought you were just getting it after the first word, but go ahead.
I'm going to hire, like prime D&D, like, dungeon designers.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna like build actual dungeon with like working traps and shit. And they're gonna have my tomb in the middle of it, like at the end of it. So like when they finally reach me, they can open up my tomb. And when they open my tomb, I'm just gonna be holding my dead body's just gonna be holding a rubber ducky. I mean, rubber chicken. The rubber chicken that goes when you squeeze it.
Well, I say two things for my tomb. First of all, bury me with all my sketchbooks. Secondly, make my tombstone the obelisk of light from Command and Conquer, because I don't want grave robbers. And I think vaporizing them with a giant laser would be perfect for deterring that.
My joke used to be, like, when I die, I want to be cremated, and I want my ashes put in, like, the head of a model rocket. And then I want it shot up into the jet stream and exploded, and that way, like, at the end of the day, all my dust particles would be in the jet streams, and then, like, people would be inhaling me. And then I'd exist in everybody. There'd be a little bit of me inside everyone.
When I die, all my friends are required to snort my ashes. No, I'm kidding.
I'd hate that. I hate seeing, and it happens in real life, too. I hate seeing that scene in, The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yep.
See that, I'm like, oh no!
A sad little bit of a lore that I learned in terms of Scientology. Apparently, that happened to L. Ron Hubbard's son. They were going to dump his ashes out of a plane, and it was windy, and the pilot said he was picking them out of his seat for a while after that, which is really sad. Honestly, that whole story's tragic, but yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Do you think the Vikings learned that? It says, no, just send them out to sea and burn them at sea.
I mean, that's pretty fucking metal. I can't fault them for giving people a Viking funeral.
Well, if you think about it, maybe they did it a few times. Like, okay, the wind keeps blowing it back in our face. What do we do? He says, why don't we just burn them out at sea? Someone probably said, why don't we just burn them out at sea?
Oh man, that would be funny if that's the reason.
Krispy, Night Owl says, Krispy, grave robbers wouldn't want you either.
They don't want my Furby collection that I'm going to be... my terracotta Furby army that I'm going to be buried with.
No,
Okay, Crispy, you know what you're drawing next.
Oh my god.
God Emperor Crispy.
Well, I was declared Emperor in the Ox earlier, so it's fine.
Nah, Crispy, you need like Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic Furbies haunting the halls of your tomb.
Andy, I didn't say that the terracotta army wouldn't be that.
Banana, 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 terracotta pie.
See, the problem is, like, I want to draw that, but it's like, oh, fuck, that's going to take a while to do.
Or you could just draw one Furby and just copy paste.
Okay.
Crispy.
Yes.
Counterpoint.
Yes.
Whacker will see it.
He better show up. I want to show him something.
I know what you want to show him. I want to show it to him as well.
Also, when you finish drawing your terracotta army, give him some armor too.
Oh no,
the whole scene of them.
I have some ideas here. I just need to start sketching some stuff because I was gonna do it just like I normally do on stream, but you know what? I kind of want to put some thought into this.
That's fine. Well, when you do draw it, I have the. You know what? When you draw it, I know what you should listen to.
What?
Hell March from that game.
Yeah, Hell March from that game. That game, Command and Conquer.
Yeah. Look, I, you know, from what I'm understanding, I must be one of the few people in the world that haven't played Command and Conquer.
Apparently, yes. I did not realize you never played Command and Conquer. I'm not going to say you should play it because its RTS is very much a, like, you know, niche. If you're into it, you're into it. I played RTS
because I loved playing Empire Earth when I was.
I think you should try. Personally, I think you should try Tiberian Sun. That's my favorite Command and Conquer game.
It is probably one of the best.
Yeah, and you can get it free through what is it? Tib Sun Client. It's like a mod you download, which is essentially just the game optimized to run on modern hardware. I highly recommend people get it. It's completely free. I think it's on ModDB.
Look, Night Owl, in Empire Earth, you can surround your cities in just nothing but towers. Normally,
Andy?
you have like... What's that?
You should see me play Civilization.
Well, listen. And I don't know about most RTSs, but in Empire Earth, you know, you have a limit of how many units each side can have, right?
Yes.
Like, no matter how advanced you are, you can only have like this many units, like population or something like that. Towers are not included, so pretty much just surround your entire cities with towers, and they'll shoot your enemies.
I mean, I did that in a different RTS. I'm not sure if anyone here has heard of the Polish-made RTS Earth 2150. Kind of a classic from my childhood, but the one I was playing it the other day, and that's basically what I did in the one mission because I couldn't build as many units as I needed to. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna cover my base in machine gun turrets and barbed wire and see if they can get in.
Lol.
It worked pretty well.
There was an RTS my sister had called Enemy Nations.
That one sounds
sci-fi and okay, yeah. So humanity gets FTL. They go out into the galaxy, find out that it's full of intelligent life. So full of intelligent life that pretty much every inhabitable non-terraformed planet has already been claimed. And so, like, for a couple hundred years, humans, you know, recklessly go out into space searching for any planet they can claim. And after a long time, they finally find one planet that's got, like, you know, greenery and animals on it, but isn't, you know, inhabited.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck yeah, and they send colony ships there. Well, somehow all the other aliens find out, and they send warships and shit, and everybody starts blowing each other up for this planet. And so they come to a consensus. It's like, okay, everybody gets to send one colony ship to this planet, and on the planet you can fight for dominion.
Huh. Hence the premise of the game. Interesting.
And the funny thing is you know, you gotta start technologically. You know, you gotta develop technology and stuff from the ground up. You can run out of resources on the map.
Oh no, I've had that happen before in other games.
So it's funny. It's funny. All my tanks are like going super slow because there's no more oil on the planet, and I'm sitting there like, huh. This is kind of a lesson or something, isn't it? I don't think it was intended, but
I mean,
yeah, it might have been.
resource management is a staple of RTSs.
It very much is.
well, I was thinking more of the like, oh look, we've you know, fucked it up again.
Yep.
I forget what the terracotta looks like, but I'm going with this.
That's fine.
It looks... Well, actually, I kind of... God, this is going to sound so bad. I confuse what Chinese armor and samurai armor looks like.
They're close, but not the same. I can send you an example if you need.
Yeah, probably.
I can picture it vaguely, but I'm just kind of rolling with it, because I know theirs isn't so much... Because the samurai armor kind of has more the segment and slats, and theirs is kind of more like a dragon scale looking mail to it.
Well, part of it's also because they had better availability of metal.
Oh, they absolutely did.
I thought they had like leather plates or leather surtresses with rivets.
Oh, they probably did. I don't know. I'm not an expert in ancient Chinese
I don't think
military equipment.
Just draw what you want, man. Nobody's going to call you out, and if they do, we're going to
Oh,
call
I am.
the weed.
Oh yeah, no. Suffer not the weed.
It shows us all getting ready to finish the job on rail. No.
Well, no, it's funny. Like, I was listening to the BPL podcast earlier, and it was like another person asking what the favorite battle mechs are, and I think next time, if somebody ever asks me that, I'm just going to start saying, it's the tall geese.
Oh.
Have they released a new episode? You know, I haven't checked it in a long time.
I think the last one they released was last year, which, I mean, I get it. Shit's busy.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised we keep releasing weekly episodes like we do for the Aux and Plug podcast. Plug, if you haven't listened to that, go listen to the Aux and Plug podcast. It's pretty fun. We just did an episode on David Lynch.
Yep. Make the head a glass dome helmet, says guy on Broadway.
Glass dome helmet? Is he an ancient alien astronaut?
Clearly, he's sitting on a cockpit. You can see the flames coming out from behind, and he's at a control station.
Hey, 7 Blue 7. Hey, Tarn. Hey, Select Console.
Hello, hello.
Man, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like the early 2000s.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's stupid and absurd and dumb, but I do like the idea of the whole ancient aliens thing, you know.
Night Owl was deeply offended that you had not played Tiberian, or Command & Conquer in general.
Well, maybe we could do something about that.
There's too many games, man. There's too many games.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's playing GTA 5 now, and I'm just like, man, I don't feel like installing 100 gigs worth of game onto my PC.
Yes.
I've been playing RimWorld, and I feel pretty great. Of course, that's not multiplayer, so there's that, but that's what Helldivers is for.
Yes. Oh my god. I had to lecture a student today.
Yeah?
And it was... You have to understand, there comes that point as a teacher where you have to kind of represent being a teacher rather than yourself. And I was like, okay, so you play video games when you get home, I guess, right? Yeah, like Helldivers. I'm like, right. How much time did you spend on Helldivers last night? Like 4 or 5 hours? Right. Mm-hmm. How much time did you spend practicing your composition? 30 minutes? Mm-hmm. Maybe the composition's more important. I said within the back of my head of like, oh my god, I'm such a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, how many hours did you spend on Helldivers, Mr. Storm Song?
Only about 2.
That's actually not pretty reasonable. Somebody the other day told me they spent like 12 plus hours playing. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Like in one sitting, heavens no, like across a week,
No.
yeah.
Like, good lord, man. If you're... Listen, I like gaming. Everybody here likes gaming. But if you're playing a game that is not like a Civ game with friends for longer than a workday, like, please get a hobby.
Yep.
No.
Night Owl's confessing to being my Steam stalker.
Alzakar's playing Stellaris.
During a class last semester, I had that moment where I'm working on something and I get a Discord notification, and people are like, so, who's Hammer? So, who's Red Fog? So, who's Night Owl? So, who's Crispy?
Oh! Hey, it could be worse. It's like, why are they playing Orc Massage?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is a fun conversation. It's like me trying to explain the BPL to my parents. I'm just like, It's like, I do all this fun stuff. I'm like, oh, what's this for? I'm like, I don't know how to explain this to you, Mom and Dad.
We're not a
like I've been showing them all the drawings and stuff I've been doing since, like, you know, I mean, not since doing streams, but just like all the stuff I do for like the BPL and Ox for people, and they're just like, a lot of it's like, that's nice, because it's just, I don't know, they don't know what it is, and I'm not sure how the hell I'm going to explain to them shit.
Yep. Sometimes you just gotta accept that the generational difference is a generational difference.
Yeah. Well, it's as well. It's a lot of it's just like, you have to have played the game or just like know the source material.
Yeah.
I do have a personal project I need to start focusing more on. You know, I've talked about my comic before. I mean, people that were on Lady Red Stream, I was talking about it there, and then I've drawn stuff for it. And I kind of been vague about it, and I do apologize for that, but it's partially because I don't want to spoil anything, and partially because I don't want people to steal my ideas. Not saying anyone in stream would do that, but it's just more about like an artist paranoia thing, you know?
Yep. Seven says, the BPL is eccentric, but we're not esoteric.
Crispy.
We're like the Dada movement, but like weirder and a little bit less random.
Crispy, I have an idea.
Yes.
You need to keep to the side, like, just a picture of the one terracotta Furby. And someone needs to build it in Blender, and we need to 3D print you a miniature army of these things.
Yes. All these.
And we will watch as Whacker weeps.
Well, see, the thing is, like, people have started putting Furby faces on things that Parallax has made. I'm like, I didn't inspire this, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. Or, like, I inspired it. I didn't, like, have a direct hand in it, but it's like, is this like what Oppenheimer felt like? Like...
It was either the nukes or the bats, guys. Anyway.
Now I've become Death, destroyer of
Andrew.
Parallax's servant.
Andrew.
What was that about the bats?
Nothing.
Andrew.
I know what you're. Are you referencing a certain? Never mind.
I'm proud of you, Andrew.
Side note: if you want to see a really messed up movie, go look up the movie The Men Behind the Sun.
Yeah, you won't sleep for a week.
No, you won't. You absolutely won't. I just saw the one scene from that. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Yep. No, I watched that with a friend, and, let's just say we sort of abandoned that death metal project.
I would.
I think there's certain...
Like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that there's movies like that that are made and that exist, but I'm not gonna watch them. Like, I'm sure that A24 movie about, like, Civil War A24 movie is good, for certain reasons, but I'm not gonna watch that movie ever in my life. I'm not. I don't need that feeding into my anxiety and shit.
Yeah.
I think we should, like, as a world tradition, like, when someone becomes like just leadership people should watch and read certain media and movies and all that to kind of get an understanding of, like, yeah, this is why it was a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but that's also getting into a can of worms I don't think we need to open on stream. I'd just say pick your X or Y thing that you're thinking of, chat, and I think you'll definitely agree with what Andy's saying. It's like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't, like, give badgers Viagra or something. I don't know.
Look, I've seen enough, like, hokey pokey sci-fi movies and stories to pretty much be afraid of anything. It's like,
that is a fair statement. I think
if you do this.
I think Halion put it really good on a stream or on once when we were doing a podcast where it's like sci-fi doesn't write to predict about the future. They write to warn about it in a lot of respects, and not to get any too specifics or anything, but I can see where that's a true statement.
When my sister explained to me what a gray goo event was, it scared the shit out of me. Like, I was a very anxious child growing up, and I was I was scared of a lot of things. Like,
oh, you and me both, my dude. You and me both. You want to get into childhood anxiety?
I was scared of the 2012
Yep,
Mayan.
scared of that too. SARS, that was a fun one for me when I was a kid.
And then after a while, I started noticing, I'm like, hey, people keep predicting this shit, and it's all bullshit. I don't think I want to be afraid anymore.
I wish I could have that mindset, but it's hard to have that when you have obsessive compulsive disorder. I think Storm could probably agree with me on that one.
Yes.
But yeah, man, we should just have a mental health episode. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a mental health expert. I can just speak from my own personal experiences of shit, which might be a little too real for Twitch.
In the words of my therapist, let's unpack that.
Sometimes I like to imagine, like, my problems as a little goblin, and I take the form of, like, basically a big Sauron motherfucker, and I just grab it around the throat and start strangling it and says, listen here, you little shit.
See, the problem is I do that, and then it just, like, changes into
It'll
something
come
I
back.
can't deal with. Yeah, that's the thing.
But the ability to just strangle it, do that and be like, listen here, you little shit.
Night Owl is calling us children again.
Yeah, tell me something I haven't been called before. Actually, don't do that.
Aren't we all children under the sun?
We are. We're children of the corn.
Okay, boys and girls, for today's literary lesson, we're going to show you a movie. We're going to show you Lord of the Flies.
We're going to show you Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh boy.
Cannibal Holocaust, the one movie where they had to have an actress show up in court to prove she wasn't dead.
I felt like being Henri. There was this video of this guy. He's in a river, and he's like, right underneath the water is sand. He's patting it. You can't understand what he's saying, but he's complaining. And then he looks to the side, and it's his horse, like, really deep in the sand.
Oh, so
my
it's
little
like...
Artax in the swamps of sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I was just thinking of that.
People were making that reference, and I was like, why do I want to send this to Storm Song?
Because he's a brony.
It was like that dark little thought that says, this might bother him. And
oh, yes, I know that thought very well.
It's like, why is my brain telling me this would bother my friend, and it's cackling while it's saying?
Yeah, that's called intrusive thoughts. They sometimes win.
Yep.
Get behind me, Satan.
Meanwhile, Satan's driving the bus playing Turbo Lover off the cliff.
Okay, that's an image I like.
Problem is, I think of like the devil from Cow and Chicken, so it just makes it even funnier.
Oh,
I'm so glad you know that reference, Andy, because I was just thinking that same voice, just like, oh.
That devil was disturbing.
Whatever you
I
do,
know.
don't
That whole show was
butt.
disturbing.
Yeah,
Yeah, like thinking back on it as a kid, like their favorite foods were pork butts and taters, and it was just the most
Pork
like
butts
scuffed
and taters.
shit in that show.
Oh, my favorite chicken.
God, of all the shows on Cartoon Network, that was one.
Listen, that was the one where the biker chicks came into the house.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the carpet-eating biker chicks. Let's.
Oh, I wonder what that's about.
Mama had a chicken, Mama had a cow, Dad was proud, she didn't care how.
Hello, Hippocampus, and also hello, Helzakar. You are
Hello.
Helzakarius. Oh, the guy who.
Weasel.
Let's see. Yeah, the guy who wrote Lord of the Flies apparently hated children. Big surprise.
That would make sense. There was actually a real-life instance of a bunch of British teens being stranded on an island, and they actually banded together and survived pretty well till they were rescued. So I can see why that's a bit of a biased take. I also can sympathize with hating children.
Wait, did I just say something about Helzakar a second ago? I can't remember.
Yes, you did. You said Halzakar joined the chat, and then I was saying something about how he's playing a game, and I forgot which game it is already because I'm drawing.
Oh, okay. Because he then responded with, "I am what?" And I'm like, wait, what did I say? I'm lost.
You were playing something, and you showed up on my Steam list, and I was like, oh, hey, look at that. I shared it with the class.
You don't like the Skeksis, Hippocampus?
I don't like a lot of things.
Which is weird because people usually are disturbed by the, what are they? Gartham. Gartham!
What are you talking about?
Dark Crystal.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie.
I want to watch these movies with you. I just want to see your, like, response to them. It's like how some people want to watch, like, Star Trek with people who haven't seen it. Star Wars.
I mean, both.
God, I want to watch. I want to watch Dark Crystal with you. I want to see your reaction to Neverending Story, the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. I want to watch the 1990s something or 80s Batman with Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
I had a friend who had never seen any of the Star Treks before, and spoilers for a movie from the 1980s.
How dare you?
him watching the scene where Spock died, like, actually had him in tears. Like, those are the reaction moments that are worth.
Okay, I have some unasked advice, Krispy.
Yeah?
So the cracks and the details, like the fur details,
Yes.
what you should do is get the basic shape and something that every suit of armor and all that would have, and then when you like copy paste it, you can add individual cracks and such details like that to the individual stuff in the back. That way, like when you copy paste, you won't have the same cracks and all that.
If I didn't have a time limit on stream, I would do that.
I got you.
Yeah. No, believe me, when it comes to like my own personal work or commissions that I do, I get very much into the details.
Yeah, he does a lot of
people-
speed drawing on this show.
Yeah, this is very much speed drawing. This is not how I normally draw. Like I will take a long time on the work that I'm either doing for myself or that I'm doing for commission work. Not to say the show hasn't helped in terms of streamlining things, just because I've learned ways to streamline stuff, but still.
So Hippocampus Hamster asks, what in God's green earth is this abomination? And it's a Furby terracotta warrior.
Yes, we're drawing my tomb, because they will have a Furby terracotta army it, and then my tomb will be an obelisk of light from Command and Conquer.
Yep. And of course, Silicon Soul has to make me choke up with that quote. His was the most Human.
Human. What does God need with a starship?
Yes.
So, I was gonna say, coloring this is gonna be easy.
Yeah. What color do I make it? Brown.
Yes. Pottery brown.
Should I paint the terracotta warrior?
Probably the color of terracotta.
What color is that?
What color is
Purple?
terracotta?
Why? Yes.
I think terracotta is pretty much.
I'm not gonna lie, Andy. You just sounded a bit like David Lynch. It was like, what color terracotta?
I want you to ask yourself, what color is terracotta?
I want to ask yourself, where's the goddamn horizon?
Which one came first, the color or the stone?
I feel like that would be a question David Lynch would ask people. I'm still sad that he's gone.
It will sting for a time.
Yeah,
Then it'll grow dull.
How long do you think?
No, trust me, I know Storm.
No, I was quoting something.
That's fair.
How long do you think in heaven it's going to take for like the other people to like actually let him sit with him at the lunch table?
What do you mean? There's a diner that he's going to be at, and they're going to have to sit with. They're going to have to come to the diner because it's the best diner. It's got the cherry pie that'll kill you.
Night Owl says terracotta is terracotta colored, followed by fucking caps lock.
Caps lock is mean like that.
Helion says maybe
another thing
Andy is. Helion says maybe Andy is Lynch's love child.
From what I
can see
understand,
that.
David Lynch, he has no love for his child. Or okay, I went a little far there. I meant to say he has no love for children, but
I mean, he had several kids. One of whom was in a Twin Peaks episode and was like holding creamed corn at one point. But that's yeah, it's Twin Peaks, so you're gonna have to just watch it.
you saw one of them as a cow.
What?
I think that was the Eraserhead movie.
That would make sense. Eraserhead, I've only seen parts of it. I haven't seen that one all the way through. All I know is that it was inspired by Philadelphia, and I'll tell you what, having been to Philadelphia on a regular basis, I can see where that comparison comes from.
So, in my ignorance, I'm going to ask, why aren't you just like paint bucketing this?
Just kind of personal preference at this point. I probably could do that, but I'm just like, I'll just do it like
If there's
this.
one thing I know from paint bucket, it kind of ruins the line work.
That's if you do it all in the same layer as the line work. I don't. I usually do it underneath the line work.
Yeah. I understand. I think it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
But it can just get a little bit tedious at times, and sometimes I just want to freehand it, which honestly comes in handy because then it's like just kind of muscle memory building, you know?
Freehand. Don't you want to learn to draw with yourself? A pencil.
Did you just fucking quote Pearl Jam at me?
Yes, I did. What are you going to do about it?
Damn it, I'm trying to think of a line from a Pearl Jam song and I can't! All I can think of is Do the Evolution.
Come on, an ink pen. Watercolors and analysis of the sound of the thing. Oh, yeah.
I don't care what anyone says, Pearl Jam's good.
Krispy draws a lot of digital.
I do quite a lot of digital stuff. I do draw a lot of traditional in my sketchbooks, but that's not as nearly as refined. I actually have done traditional stuff very detailed. I don't know if people have seen the Cthulhu that I've drawn, but that originally was a traditional drawing that I scanned and touched up.
Meanwhile, this is a picture of Cthulhu, or Cthulhu fingering the earth, or tentacling the earth. This is not art.
Art is subjective, man. I think I've said what one of my favorite art pieces is that's in the Philadelphia Art Museum, and that's Duchamp's Fountain. Also, this is the Cthulhu drawing I'm talking about that I did originally.
Yes.
Did this 6 years ago, actually.
You thought to.
I want a short story of Cthulhu wakes up, but he can't move, and he finds out that humanity has been harvesting him for, like, stuff.
That sounds fucking horrifying.
There's that one SCP, which is basically a juvenile version of Cthulhu. Like, he's, a not fully grown version of the same thing yet. And he just wants to be left alone. But all these cultists all these cultists keep coming to him, like, trying to worship him and do, a Starspawn, do a sacrifice to him. And one of the scenes, he's just like, seriously, like, you people need Buddha or Jesus. I hear he's good for people like you.
I just like the idea that he's dressed up as, like, a 2000s skater. It's like, oh, you don't understand me! And he just, like, skates off.
He's got, like, a beanie.
Yeah, exactly.
I love how I bring up SCP and somebody brings up, the mystery flesh pit, and I'm like, I know what you're talking about.
Why do I feel like that's really dirty?
That could be a picture for you to draw.
The mystery flesh pit?
No,
I don't know about that.
No, Skater Beanie Starchild Cthulhu guy.
Oh, I'll do that. I don't know if I want to draw a flesh pit, though. That might get the stream canceled.
I mean, everybody's drawn a flesh pit. I mean, how many people have drawn beanie-wearing skater, angsty teenager Starchild that's like sipping
Exactly.
Would he be
We're all
reading
about originality
Harry
here.
Potter? Like, if he had a book, what would he be reading from? Like Harry Potter? Or Game of Thrones?
No. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one.
I mean, a Starchild reading Harry Potter, like, kind of
Harry Potter and the Jenkum of life.
Oh God, breathe deep.
Harry Potter and a Necronomicon.
Harry Potter and the Tomb of Ibn al-Hazred.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on what you just said, Storm, and now I'm just thinking that's set to, like, Pink Floyd's Breathe.
Yep.
Oh yes, my magnificent terracotta army.
The explorers are like walking by and looking at them, and they touch a button. All of a sudden, their eyes start glowing, and they all start going like,
A thought, Krispy.
Yes.
Do that row of 4 again.
Yeah.
And then wind it push them towards the back, and then copy that and do another and another and another. So it's like.
Oh no, that's what I'm going to do. I just changed it because I thought I needed to fix something, but I don't. So.
backseat artist everyone hates the most. I'm joking.
It's okay. I still love you. But I'm gonna go cry into my soup to make it last longer.
You're not capable of love, horse.
Isn't that how you make goulash?
The Goulash Archipelago.
The Goulash Archipelago.
There's a famous book called The Gulag Archipelago. Talking about
That's a really fucked up story, because I think I know that story.
Yeah.
Well, it's biographical. It's him talking about what life in the gulags was like.
Not great, as it turns out. Worst summer camp ever.
Yes. Banana, 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 terracotta, banana, terracotta, terracotta pie!
Terracotta banana, mocha cappuccino, chocolate banana protein shake. So good, yum yum.
What?
Seven brings up the quote from last week. Night Owl, I step away for 1 minute, and you fuckers are laughing and bringing up the Stanford prison experiment. Fucking damn it!
You know,
oh yeah, we did do that, didn't
we? We were talking about Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Stanford Prison Gulag.
Lord of the Disney World. Welcome to the Greater Disney Gulag. This is where we put all the shoplifters at Disney World.
Stanford prison experiment mixed with Rat Toot Utopia says we made some rats more rights than the other rats and made them in charge of the prison.
Oh God, we're turning this into Animal Farm.
Except with rats. The secret of Nim, but there's a K before the end.
Nickum.
They're Lord of Grimos. They're a terracotta army.
Yes,
they're the Firmicata warriors.
Yeah, this I'm drawing my tomb. What it will be like.
Grimos is just at this Krispy hippocampus. Krispy, it's fine. Oh, you can do it again. Let him cook.
I'll fucking do it again.
Immense concern.
Like, I'm just gonna say this much: if you're not used to this, you are not going to like this stream.
You need to make like a Space Marine, but put a Kirby head on it.
A Kirby Space Marine, or you mean Furby Space Marine?
Furby, yeah. I never get it right.
We still love you.
You do tend to mix the two, which is its own level of cursed.
I think it's some level of OC or whatever the hell, dyslexia. I don't know.
It's OC dyslexia, yes.
OC dyslexia, do not steal.
It's spurgitude. That's what it is.
That's exactly it. You're so right.
Now I'm gonna go make this tower out of my mashed potatoes and listen to the voices telling me to go see the aliens.
All right, I know somebody that's watched Close Encounters. God, they're magnificent, aren't they?
I just want to play to help.
I better.
Are you sure about that? Hold on, I'll be right back.
So, Andy.
Yeah.
I have a question.
No.
What are you wearing right now?
Khaki pants and my red uniform shirt and a pair of socks. Storm. I'm going to replace all your sugar with salt.
So, I'm trading diabetes for hypertension.
Yeah.
I just saw Chad's reaction to what I just did.
Yeah, well, I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's spine, but thick as you are. Pay attention.
I have returned.
A matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expressions.
Oh no, Andy's singing. I'm scared.
Upstairs. We're talking of kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares.
Dun 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 dun.
Prepare for the chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer.
And where do we feature?
Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you will be rewarded when I have last been given my dues.
What are you singing?
And justice electricity squared. Be prepared.
Prepared.
Oh, that.
The Lion King. Yep.
I don't know. I think that'd be funny seeing your terracotta like soldiers stomping around to that.
If you're stomping around to anything, it might be like Attack of the Zorchmen. I don't know. I have to think about that. Hell March is definitely a contender. I stopped caring about Disney when they ruined Star Wars for me. Honestly, that's a base answer. It's more complicated than that, but it's definitely like, I don't want to get into it. Stop. I have many complicated feelings on the matter.
Yep.
I have opinions.
On
I
the
certainly
upshot,
have opinions.
we can simply take comfort in the fact that they did a good job maintaining the lore. You can hear Chat now as he is trying his best to restrain the anger.
Not gonna say anything. Definitely not gonna say anything about Princess Leia being fucking Mary Poppins in space.
And of course, they had that rather brilliant addition concerning, the hyperspace jump through the enemy ship. Brilliant.
Storm, I will book a plane ticket out to where you live. I swear to God.
Yeah, I know.
I will fart on your pillow at the meetup and give you pink eye.
And there's also the rather artistic use of force fields in the movie. I would say that's the real piece de resistance.
I can't think of any time I see force field activation in that movie. Now that I think about it,
There isn't any. I'm just being a prick at this point.
No argument there.
I'm gonna heal this snake lizard creature.
You do that.
Honestly, if I'm gonna write about Star Wars, I'm gonna need my own podcast for that.
When I started seeing you put that pointy bit at the end, it's reminded me of this skit on YouTube where it's the hate monologue from "I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream."
Yeah.
Ed Goss says, to be fair, Disney was a good at gatekeeping the lore as Lucas was. To which Halzakar says, so you can try 2 nails through your hands instead of 1.
Very much so. Let's see how this looks. Well, it doesn't quite read as an obelisk from back there, but maybe if I had color to it.
I'm trying to, Night Owl, but it just goes so fast, and you're all so tiny in there.
My Nectaron tombs. Turns out that your brain patterns had been illegally downloaded and kept secret, and in a few hundred years, they've been uploaded into a weird machine without your
Oh
consent.
man, that sucks to be them. They're gonna have a hell of a time with my brain patterns.
You'll be the first AI that has introduced self-hatred into the equation.
Not an
Well, I meant that as
inaccuracy.
hatred for your. I meant that as hatred for your own kind, but
Yes. Yeah, no, that probably would be me. Just fuck all these toasters, launch everything. I should be clear. I don't hate AI. I just hate what we're using it for. Where it's you know what? Never mind. That's gonna be a whole can of worms that I don't want to open right now. If you've known me and you've heard me talk about AI art enough, you know how I feel on the matter.
I'm watching you draw your lipstick obelisk.
It does look like a really abstract lipstick tube, doesn't it?
Is the red from the paint, or is it from the blood you're letting from poking yourself on the lips? We'll never know. Actually, you
Little
can't
bit.
tell by the
A little bit of both.
When the French eat balut, the blood from the bones crushing in their mouth is the flavor.
What?
Nothing.
Why does that sound like some wrong turn shit?
Because you made a wrong turn at Albuquerque?
Don't look up balut.
Oh, I was thinking of the movie.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
I unironically love that song.
It's a great song.
Oh yeah, Tears for Fears is great. I think the Lord covers a little bit too... I don't want to say edgy, but just... You know what I mean.
It works for what it was meant for, but yeah, it gets a bit overplayed. It was used in like every movie trailer for a while.
He was in an Assassin's Creed game.
They used it in that Dracula Untold movie.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. Not that it was one really worth remembering, but, you know.
I actually enjoyed it, but it wasn't, like, amazing.
Yeah, I
would
want
want.
you want an amazing vampire movie, I sincerely recommend, if you haven't seen it already, go see that Nosferatu movie that came out last year. It is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's from the same director that did... oh, God, what other movies did he do? I think he did The Northman was one.
Yeah. Northman, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
I
some other
wouldn't
ones
want
too.
to
I
rule
just
the
not.
world. Imagine all the paperwork.
What?
I said I wouldn't want to rule the world. Imagine all the paperwork.
Oh no, fuck that. Being a dictator would suck. It's like, I gotta do all this shit. I just want to hang out.
I mean, if you want to do it right.
Oh yeah, of course.
If you want to be like Tropicano.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I was thinking of just my Civ games. It's like, oh, the Aztecs are getting uppity, are they? Launch the nukes.
You know, I've seen it before, but I keep laughing every time I see the name Turgid Turbine in our chat.
That's such a good name, though.
Yes, this is supposed to be an obelisk of light, Mr. Hippocampus Hamster.
You are correct. Yes, this is. Yeah, this is my tombstone. Is I said earlier was going to be the obelisk of light from Command and Conquer.
So, in Command and Conquer, what does it do?
It fires a big fuck-off laser onto things.
Yeah, and it kills things real quick. It's basically Nod's best base defense. The only downside is it can't target air units. Which then Cabal realizes that he makes the Obelisk of Darkness, I think it's called, and that can target air units. Fucking Cabal, man.
Ooh, neon.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I can even hear like the.
Hey, TK.
Hello.
Turgid says, just embrace the M. Bison method of dictatorship.
It was a Tuesday.
I'll only do work on Tuesday.
M. Bison, I sentenced you forever work at a Ruby Tuesdays.
Andy, there's some things that are too cruel even for him.
That's just wrong, man. Yes, my beautiful children. I will say that recently I had some prints made of some of my artwork to add to my portfolio, and I did put the gobbledygook that I did on stream in there as one of the things to get printed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know you had I think you had a card of it.
I think I did. I think that got made for me by Techie. Or not Techie, sorry. That got made for me by, God, I'm having such a brain fart right now, and I feel terrible about it, because I'm just like, I should know this name.
What's up? It's perfectly alright to like bad games. Everyone has a moment of bad taste. You can be forgiven for this.
You're not wrong.
I think probably the most bad game that I've ever enjoyed was a game called Dragon Seed.
Do tell, Andy. What could be wrong with a game called Dragon Seed?
It was a PlayStation 1 game, and it was like you're in a world where like they keep the genetic codes and stuff for specific. It's kind of like Monster Rancher. You know, kind of worked like Monster Rancher, but it was its own thing, and everything was a dragon, and like they evolved in a certain way, and you kind of fought on each other in like a Tekken sort of way, where you like can sidestep and shit.
Huh.
Mm.
You probably find like a review of it online. One of the bad things is like you couldn't say no to like the first battle. Like the guy was like, I want to fight you. And it's like, no, you have to.
Well, okay then.
I don't think it had a good story.
Well, I'll tell you a bad game that I played that I liked at first, but then came to regret later. It's a little something called Command and Conquer 4.
The aforementioned moment of bad taste that we're all allowed to have.
Yeah, that was one where I was like, oh, maybe it'll be good. And then I played it, I was like, this is terrible.
As long as nobody likes Final Fantasy 13, we're fine.
I don't like Final Fantasy in general, so...
Well, then you are protected from that particular failing.
Yeah, but I might get flogged for not liking Final Fantasy, I don't know.
No, you know what? I'm fine with that personally as one of the people who might otherwise flog you, because not everyone's into it.
That's fair.
Like,
it's like there's stuff I'm into I definitely don't fault people for not liking, you know, especially my music taste. Alright. Oh, wow. It's, got about, like, 20 minutes of stream left here.
Yep.
You can add more soldiers. More soldiers!
I probably could, honestly.
Oh, Seven, you and Whacker would have to have a fist fight now.
Oh, what is he saying?
He's saying that he, did not like 10 with its, sports ball game.
Oh.
You know,
Final Fantasy X.
I actually enjoyed the sports ball game. Like, I played it for quite a while.
Yep. I was indifferent to it, but I did like Final Fantasy X.
Of course, I bought Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball for the physics engine, but I ended up playing it for the actual volleyball game.
You're like the only person that did. Excuse me. You know what, Andy? Just for you, I'm gonna draw some Dead or Alive shit. Hold on.
No, don't do it.
Oh, you underestimate my power.
Well, I don't. After looking at what you're drawing, I don't think we have to worry about any physics.
I just give her like the Tomb Raider boobs, where it's just like triangles.
Yeah. Madonna boobs.
Oh shit!
They're hot, tangy. You know, I'm not finishing that sentence. You said Madonna boobs, and my brain went straight to a quote from a concert, and I'm not going to say it. Note for the children: you don't always want to. What the?
What? I'm scared. What happened?
Okay, I dropped my weapon. I'm playing Helldivers right now, and because I needed to break from my arting, and I picked up somebody's weapon somewhere along the way, which is somebody's trench shovel. I didn't know this was a thing.
Oh, that's the thing they just added, I think. I think Maze was posting that earlier, and I'm just like, I mean, that's great and all, but it's gonna probably get me killed more than anything.
Trench shovel, you could go full Death Core of Creed on them.
Yep. Wazup says, I tend to like the turn-based and semi-turn-based systems in Final Fantasy. All the new Final Fantasy games are action games. Yeah, that is one thing I miss about classic Final Fantasy.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I want to preface this by saying I'm not like a big 40k person. I don't really like a lot of stuff in 40k, but I'm just going to say this. I think the Death Core of Krieg is overrated as fuck.
Yeah, I could see that. They're kind of baby's first edgelord.
I think the allure is that like they're just guys, but they'll like ant swarm a space marine because they've got that like gung ho mentality.
I can do all things through the Emperor who strengthens me.
See, I think there's a better guard unit for that, and that would be the Tanith First and Only. Because Gonskos is fucking great. And I'm saying that as a person that generally dislikes a lot of 40k stuff. Their whole story is wonderful.
Yep.
Well, it could also be that they have the whole gas mask and
I mean, look-wise, it's fun. I mean, obviously it's very diesel punk and shit. I love that, but it's just like in terms of like why they're so great. It's like, oh, they don't care. They just go forward and it is like, all right, that's just fucking lame. Give me a bunch of like Scottish ninja assassins who are like the last of their planet. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna fight and serve the Emperor for the chance of maybe a better tomorrow. Like that's a way better story.
Yeah. Personally, I'm fond of the Steel Legion of Armageddon, but that's just because those
like guys are fun. They got tanks and shit. That's just great. Another one that I like is the Harkoni Warhawks, which is basically like airborne paratroopers in space.
I never
like
really
all
looked into Imperial Guard. Like, if I ever played it, I would probably just have like large lines of guardsmen with like a bunch of like tanks behind them, just shooting pie plates. Which I mean
that's yeah, you could definitely do that in the Guard because their tanks are pretty fucking nuts. Back when I wanted to play 40k, first I had gotten a Tau army and then I had like sold it / traded it and got into War Machine instead. But I still had the thought at the time to get a Guard army, and at the time I did look at Death Core of Krieg as an army, and then I was like, oh, this is Forge World, then you have to sacrifice your firstborn for that.
Which is, to be honest, a very 40k-ish thing to do.
Yeah, but it's, God, War Machine. Now, there's a game that I really wish hadn't gone the way that it did. I realize it's kind of back now, but it's not the same as back when I had played, because I had played in the Mark II edition. And the game changed so much from that, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but basically, like Mark 1 and 2 War Machine. Oh, actually, no, I got into Mark 2, but it was like such a fun, easy to get into game. You only needed, like, you could get like a starter box and be good to play the game. It was just like so much more accessible and stuff, and it was just fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I just kind of got out of it just because of college shit. And then years later, I learned what happened to it, and I was kind of saddened by that.
Ether brings up a good point of you need to understand a standard investment strategy to even begin starting a 40k army. Hire an accountant.
Yeah. You're not wrong. No, that is the one thing I do know about 40k. It's like you need to have income.
I mean, there is a darker path you can take, one seen as unnatural to the eyes of GW.
I'd absolutely take that path because I'd much rather 3D print an army instead. Because that's just obviously the easier thing. God, this is some like cursed Picasso shit that I'm doing right now. In terms of like Dead or Alive, just like it looks like one of the Beatles playing beach ball.
Yep.
It's Ringo playing beach ball. In drag, I guess, because he's wearing a bikini. But, you know, hey, if you're comfortable with a bikini at the beach, go for it. Like,
she wore a itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today.
Yes.
This is like a taffy person.
Yeah, I'm with you. Was up on the whole. I got into 40k through the lore and through the books. I tried to get an army going, and I realized quickly, like, no, we're going with BattleTech because I'm fine with paying for 4 models, not 40 at that price.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got into 40k through Gundam. Actually, I was looking for like a store that had Gundam models, and like I think it was the internet or something was like, I was like, where do I find models to build? And it was like, there's a toy store here, and I went there, and they didn't really have Gundam models, but they had a bunch of these little tiny models. And it was quite a drive to get there, so I thought, you know, if I learn to paint these little models good, I could paint bigger models better. That was my little 12-year-old thought process.
Actually, now that
there's a logic to it.
Now that you mentioned it, actually, 40k is the reason I'm here right now, believe it or not. Because back in college, when I was into 40k, I wanted to learn as much as possible about it. So me being, you know, the autistic brain that I am, would go on, like, wikis and stuff to just read up on things and learn all the lore. I still do that. I don't know why I'm saying that in the past tense. But one day while I was looking for stuff, I found this little website called 1D4chan, which some people here may be familiar with. And it was not through 40k but I had found an article on this little game called Space Station 13. And that is how I found that game. And one day while I was playing, there was this guy, Randolph P. Checkers, that was in chat saying, well, I have this YouTube channel where I put all my space station stuff. And I checked it out. And I'm not going to lie, I had the channel saved, but I didn't really watch anything on it at the time. Just because long plays were not something I really sat through at the time. Nowadays, I would, absolutely, because I tend to use it as background ambiance while I'm working on stuff. But at the time, I was like, oh, this is cool. But I just kind of, like, forgot about it. Until years later, when I was getting into the Hairbrain Scheme Battletech game, and I had gotten back into looking at Battletech stuff on YouTube, and one of the videos that popped up on my feed was the the Catapult or the 2Kid video. One of those two. But yeah, that just kind of started a chain of events that, long story short, I'm here now. So it's just interesting how that stuff goes, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, gentlemen, I need to get going. I know the stream's almost over, but
oh, that's fine.
My intern has arrived at the studio early, so...
Yeah, that's fine. You know what? I'm fine with calling it here now if we want to do that, just because it's almost over and I'm kind of just running out of steam as it is.
Man.
But thank everybody for joining us.
Yeah. Well then, Andy,
Yes.
you still have to clean all this blood up.
Yes.
Oh.
Just get the resolve, man.
Yeah, all you need is some turpentine and, a little bit of elbow grease.
Yes.
And a match.
And maybe some diesel fuel, but that's beside the point. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us on this wonderful Tuesday. We hope to see you again next time. And just remember, things come and go, but Furbies, they stay eternal.